This is a video about a live steamer, a model locomotive that does not run on electricity but on real steam, generated by flame, fueled by alcohol. This video is made for people who know nothing about live steamers by a guy who is learning about them. I know enough to know that you don't buy an old live steam engine and just light it up. A lot of live steamers I see on eBay are missing crucial parts: burners, safety valves, and whistles. Before buying an old live steamer, it's important to know what a complete model looks like. In the case of this Bassett-Lowke Mogul, there are enough examples around, enough information, including YouTube videos, to know what a complete and operable example looks like. I toyed with buying a live steamer for a while, learned a bit about them, and finally pounced on this Bassett-Lowke Mogul because it has all the essential parts, it has the original box, instructions, and accessories, it isn't too burned up. It also came up for sale in the US, which for me meant cheaper and quicker delivery. This engine is a product of Bassett-Lowke in Northampton, England. Here I insert the boilerplate, if I may use the expression, that the company name is not Bassett and Lowke. It's one guy's hyphenated name. Bassett-Lowke made the Mogul for over 30 years. This example from 1950 is one of the last factory-assembled Moguls decorated in red, London, Midland, and Scottish livery. This Mogul was sold for about $40 wholesale by Bassett-Lowke to Juarez Hobbyland in Norwalk, Connecticut. In the U.S. in the early 1950s, you could get the steamer at Polk's Hobbies in New York for $80. At Chester Holly's in Tampa, Florida, it was $75. For comparison, back then, that was the price of an entire top-of-the-line train set made by Lionel. For about $50, you could get the Mogul in kit form. Whether a model was factory-built or put together by an amateur hobbyist may have a bearing on how well it will operate today. I'm glad my example was factory-built. By 1956, Bassett-Lowke was phasing out its live steamers. I think the Mogul was made into the 1960s.
You're not going to see this engine run, if only because it's not roadworthy. But I can share what I know about live steamers. To run, a live steamer needs 3 chemicals: distilled water, not tap water, steam oil, which is not motor oil, a certain kind of alcohol. This funnel and measuring cup are for filling all 3 chemicals in amounts specified in the instructions. On this model, the distilled water is poured in here, where the safety valve is screwed in. The safety valve, I shouldn't have to say, is one of the crucial parts. It must be in working order. It needs sound gaskets. Another crucial part back here is the whistle. The whistle isn't just for toot-toot. An open whistle starts whistling like a tea kettle to let you know that the steam is high enough to run. And this lever up here is for changing direction. It's connected to a reversing block in the steam chest down front. Next, steam oil. I'm not totally up on steam oil, but it is not what you put in your car. Steam oil may contain some petroleum, but also stuff like animal fat. On very simple live steamers, one takes out the pistons, dips them in steam oil, and reinstalls them. This Bassett-Lowke Mogul has a steam oil lubricator concealed under the smoke box. The steam oil is funneled in one filler, the displaced air goes out the other. The steam goes from the boiler through the lubricator, where it mixes with the oil, and down into the steam chest. Alcohol for live steamers is another thing I'm not up on. In my research, I've seen various theories of alcohol firing. One says don't overfill. That's what makes the flames leap up and burn the sides of the boiler. Another says use cool burning alcohol. That will reduce the scorching on the boiler as well. I don't know. I need to do a lot more research. All operators say keep a wet towel handy. The alcohol goes into here, the burner. Most burners on live steamers are like the ancient Aladdin's lamp. The Bassett-Lowke burner is a bit more complicated. It's a vaporizing burner. A wick here serves as the pilot light. A wick in here wicks up the alcohol. The alcohol is vaporized and set alight along these holes. Now the cylinders. Unlike model electric trains, what goes on in here is for real. Up here you have the piston valve, which lets steam into the cylinder and lets exhausted steam escape. This is where the piston is, getting pushed out by the steam and pushed in by reciprocal action from the other side. The timing of the piston valve is very important. The 18-year-old who wrote the Building a Kit book devotes 4 pages and took great pains to getting right the piston valve timing. If the timing isn't right, the engine won't run efficiently. If a live steamer is in good working order, the drive wheels should spin freely. One should be able to make them spin by pumping air into the boiler with a hand bicycle pump. I could not get the wheels on this to turn with 50 psi from an electric tire pump, so this engine is not roadworthy. There's oil residue, maybe from 70 years ago, all over the exterior parts. I suspect that steam passages are clogged up with the same stuff. So a future project will be to clean a lot of steam oil gunk out of this. I have no idea when I'll get to it, and no idea if I will ever get to fire up this iconic and classic live steamer. I suspect that the steam passages are clogged up with the same stuff. And I'm clogged up with pollen.